expectations. We have another rumor that I wanted to talk about. Ryan Reynolds doing Deadpool X-Men movie, Uncanny X-Force potentially. So let's go straight up read this one. I've learned that Ryan Reynolds is in the very early stages of developing and writing a new Deadpool movie featuring X-Men characters. Fans are hoping it's an adaptation of Uncanny X-Force. Also, I think it's kind of funny that this image is still from a pirated version of Deadpool. Anyway, the news follows Deadpool and Wolverine making over $1.3 billion at the box office. Marvel has also confirmed Channing Tatum for Avengers Doomsday. Have they, though? I mean, I guess we didn't go over the previously announced cast, so maybe he is in there, and I just haven't been paying that close attention on while we've been in these weird supplemental weeks. Who Ryan Reynolds brought in to play Gambit. That's not how that worked, though. Channing Tatum has been trying to get the Gambit movie off the ground for almost as long as Reynolds was trying to get the Deadpool movie up off the ground. I don't think that the two are necessarily related, even though you can see some parallels there. I think that Ryan Reynolds met Channing in the middle for his Gambit part in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but that just feels a little disingenuous to sell it that way. Anyway, also assumed that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman will be back as Deadpool and Wolverine for Avengers Doomsday and or Secret Wars. I think the key here is the and or. I think it's more likely for Secret Wars, especially if this rumor is to be believed. Like that, we have other Feige rumors that we'll talk about in a moment that seem to lend towards less overwhelming casts and rosters and movies going forward. But again, we'll get to that. Details about the new Deadpool movie. Following recent statements made by Ryan Reynolds, see below, it's said his new movie won't be a solo Deadpool movie. You could actually argue that about all of the films. No kidding. According to THR, Reynolds is exploring ideas for a Deadpool movie that will feature X-Men characters. Reynolds is said to be working on a treatment that for an ensemble film featuring, that it seems like broken English, featuring 3 or 4 X-Men characters. While Deadpool would of course appear, it's suggested Deadpool will only appear as more of a supporting character. This is the quote from Reynolds, or this is the quote from THR rather. Reynolds is said to believe that keeping his F-bomb wielding anti-hero more on the sidelines could allow for the X-Men characters to be used in unexpected ways. Reynolds has been open about every Deadpool movie needing a strong reason to exist, and it's possible this could provide the avenue he needs. I think there's definitely something to that, much in the same vein as a Beetlejuice movie. While Beetlejuice is the title character, he has the least amount of screen time. I think something similar there for Deadpool could be beneficial again to those things we're going to talk about for a second here in a minute with Kevin Feige. Also said the new Deadpool X-Men project is separate from the X-Men movie currently in development for the MCU that Hunger Games writer Michael Leslie is writing for Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios. This isn't even considered Marvel official, as Reynolds is said to be exploring ideas and tinkering with concepts, quote unquote, and working outside of Marvel. It's known he pitched over a dozen ideas to Marvel before landing on Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel has to approve casting, according to THR. Also name drops Cynthia Erivo as a contender for Storm. Let's be honest, nobody wants that. That is true. That bit of info seems to be fan casting put in by the writer of the article. It said any casting and use of characters by Reynolds would need to be approved by Marvel. No kidding. That's kind of how that works. Deadpool works better solo. I kind of disagree. I am a big Deadpool fan, and some of my favorite books of his are solo books of his, but there's a lot of heavy lifting by the cameos and the secondary characters. Anyway, regarding recent statements made by Reynolds, he teased the future of the Merc with the Mouth, stating the character won't work if he is a member of the Avengers or the X-Men. Quote is, I like that he's isolated. If Deadpool becomes an Avenger or an X-Men, we're at the end. That's his wish fulfillment, and you can't give him that for a long time. Which is kind of, for a long time, how he worked in the comic books, so that's pretty insightful. Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld chimed in with news recommended doing Why does that not read right? Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld chimed in on the news and recommended doing X-Force, which Liefeld created. A version of the team also appeared in Deadpool 2 and quickly died. Just call it X-Force already, make it happen. Like when it was with Drew Goddard. Don't leave out Josh Brolin or Zazie. Folks want Cable and Domino back, Liefeld tweeted. Yeah, fans do want that. That's fair.
Thank you very much, nerds, for tuning in. If you want to level up your nerdy, geeky, pop culture knowledge, then don't forget to subscribe and do all of the things. Go check out the main channel, Generally Nerdy, for the larger portion. Again, you get all of these sections into one convenient video over on Generally Nerdy. The name of the show is The Week in Nerddom. Thank you for checking out this clip. We will see you next time. Before we go, though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.